Good day, everyone. I'm Jane, your Laurier Live host.
And I'm Aruj. Happy Friday and welcome to our Emergency Preparedness Safety Schism Show. We have plenty of cool stories and tips from Schism students across the board.
Grade 12 with Sir Wil. No one could have ever predicted that your senior year would change this much. Your teachers and coaches would like to celebrate your achievement as Lancers. To that end, your coaches are in the process of putting together an athletic banquet video. Stay tuned in for details on the release date.
We are also encouraging you to apply for your athletic letter. Message Mr. Varden to see the application form. You can include sports you intended to play this winter or spring that were canceled due to school closure.
We understand that the current situation with the pandemic can be difficult, especially those with anxiety disorders. In this case, Aaron Zink of Earl of March, but they have some good advice for everyone who might be feeling the same way. Have a listen.
I have a general anxiety disorder, and this has only been amplified during the current pandemic. I have lots of little things that I do to help lessen the effects of my anxiety, and these are definitely helpful during a pandemic as well. Going to work has been a real struggle for me, but to help with this, I always make sure I have hand sanitizer with me, I wear a face mask whenever possible, and I physical distance as best as I can. Going to the store is also a struggle, so I only go when it's absolutely essential, and I try to go during off hours so there's less people around, so I don't get as anxious. I also have set routines for myself. I take my medication at the same time every morning, I try to go for a walk, I make sure I eat a good breakfast, things like that. Other than just working and doing schoolwork, I try to go outside and do physical exercise, yoga, play video games, things like that to help me de-stress. I have routines to help me stay on top of things and get through my day. I have a routine to help me stay on top of things and stay prepared during a pandemic and every day, so I don't have to stress as much. This sort of preparedness has helped me and my anxiety a lot, and I hope this kind of things can help you too. Stay safe and don't forget to wash your hands.
Thank you, Aaron, for those tips.
Like they said, having a routine can help keep you calm and organized. If you know someone that may need this advice, please do share it with them.
Sometimes you may need to go outside to get some fresh air, and a great way to do that is with a bike ride. But roads can be hostile to some cyclists, so you need to take extra precautions.
Gabriel Garcia has sent us images of how he safely goes on bike rides. When it's dark out, he wears his reflective vest and pants. The bike is also equipped with reflective strips on the wheels and forks, as well as the front and rear lights. Furthermore, a mirror has been installed on his handlebar to allow him to see cars approaching from behind without having to look back.
Gabriel seems very well protected. To let other vehicles know which way he intends to turn, he moves his arm to the direction he wants to go. For more information we have on bicycle safety, here's a quick clip made by Shion.
The weather is beautiful this week, and the show's theme is safety, so I'm going to tell you all about bicycle safety. First and foremost, wear a helmet. Although cyclists 18 years and older are not required by law to wear a helmet, it is still recommended to do so to reduce injury in a crash.
A helmet that fits you should be snugly and should not move around. Its straps meet in a V below your ears, and you can place no more than 2 fingers between your chin and the strap. Helmet should be replaced every 5 years or after an impact. When buying one, look for a CSA, CPSC, Snell B95 or N94 certification sticker to be sure you're buying a proven helmet. Cyclists share the same rights and rules as motorists, meaning you are a vehicle of the road, just like a car. It is illegal and unsafe to ride on the sidewalks. You must ride on the right side of the road, and you must stop at all stop signs and red lights. When turning or stopping, you must signal. Signaling is simple. Turning left, stick your arm out to the left. Turning right, point to the sky or to the right. Stopping, point to the ground. Car versus cyclist, who would win? Obviously the big hunk of metal. For this, you must ride defensively on the road. Make yourself visible with lights and reflective material. Don't assume that drivers will see you, especially large trucks. If you feel unsafe, use the entire lane. Don't compromise your life just for the convenience of others. A vehicle can only pass you if it's safe to do so, and it must give you at least 1 meter. Failing to do so can lead up to $110 in payable fines. There will always be dumb drivers on the road, and dumb cyclists as well. Let's not be either of those.
you, Shion. By the way, how often do you inspect your fire extinguisher, Jane?
Maybe once a year. Why?
Well, Ricky McLaren says that they are to be inspected every month. He also says to check that the nozzle is unobstructed and that the pressure indicator is in the green position.
Wow, once a month? That seems a bit excessive, but I don't want to be stuck in the middle of a fire with a broken fire extinguisher.
Just in case you do get stuck in a fire, you need to know your fire escape route. Do you have one? Well, CJ Hokie has his plan prepared. He recently moved his bedroom to the basement and decided it would be a good idea to have an exit plan. He has a towel prepared in the laundry room, just in case he needs to soak it against fires. And if he needs to escape, he has prepared a stool and a hammer so that he may quickly escape through the window if needed.
Wow, he's really prepared. These actions will clearly save his life in the future. He even practiced some escapes. Well, after all, practice does make perfect.
Speaking of being prepared, were you prepared for the current pandemic?
Nazu Kaplan's family were not prepared for the pandemic, and initially they didn't have any face masks, much like the rest of Ottawa. However, that quickly changed as their neighbors supplied them with homemade face masks.
They were made with beautiful fabric, and their neighbors continue to make them for their community. We are all very thankful to them for their thoughtfulness and support throughout these difficult times.
If you would like to make some masks for yourself or others in your community, we have the video for you, made by our very own Shion. Finally, we have an image sent in by Krista Reed of her inspecting her family's emergency roadside kit. It includes many useful tools such as shovels, flashlights, first aid kits, and even blankets.
These kits can come in handy when you become stuck in your car due to scenarios such as a blizzard, car pileup, landslides, and many more. The blanket and hand warmers will especially be useful in wet or snowy conditions as hypothermia is deadly. Though what you may need to carry may depend on different factors. Other useful tools to carry may be flares and rope. Truck drivers sometimes even carry heart defibrillators and naloxone kits just in case they come by someone in need of help. Sandra Plagakis of KISS 105.3, a radio broadcaster / morning personality from the Sandra and Chris show, was interviewed by Connor Kehoe from OCGSB XL. along with Jane and Hamid, about inspiring others to join the broadcasting activities. The event was organized by Connor Kehoe from OCDSB XL.
You may recognize her voice from your drive-in or your favorites list from KISS 105.3's Sandra and Chris show. Parents, teachers, students of the OCDSB, please welcome to XL Live Sandra Plagakis.
Oh, hello. Thank you for having me, and thank you for not butchering my last name. That's a first.
Hey, we try and make all kinds of firsts here, but that's an important one, you know?
Not even sitting in the nerve center. I should let you know where I am sitting. I'm sitting in what I call the podcast studio. This is just a tiny little booth we have set up outside of the actual radio station studio, and it's just like a little hole. But it's fabulous, and I have everything I need to record my podcast in here. It's private. It's awesome. So that's what you're seeing right now. I put a mic here to make myself seem more professional as well.
My question is, were there any role models you looked up to, or like anyone in radio that's like famous?
Yeah, actually, you'll find this very strange, but Howard Stern was one of my very first role models in radio, even though we didn't actually hear Howard Stern in Canada at the time. I was able to hear snippets of him through friends who would record him and whatever. But yeah, he was my first. And at the time, his content was very salacious, and there's no way you could play any of the radio he did back in the day now. What I liked about him is that he was fearless. So that was the kind of broadcaster that I wanted to be and model myself after. But there's a lot of female broadcasters as well in Canada, like Erin Davis and Marilyn Dennis, and now her name, Maureen Holloway. There's some great female talent that I model myself after, and truly women who have paved the way for the rest of us by going on the air every day and being more than just a giggle girl, because that sadly was what a lot of women were hired to do, news traffic and giggle along with the male talent. So these women became more than just that. So they paved the way for many other female broadcasters.
So my question is, if you could go back and redo any of your shows, which one would you do and why?
You know what? I'm not going to lie. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. I've never had a perfect show. Every broadcaster goes into work and wants to have the perfect show. And when you leave that studio, you want to be able to say, I could not have done it better. That was the best I've ever been. I killed it. But, you know, in 3.5 hours, there are going to be moments that you could have done better, moments that you rocked at, and moments that you maybe weren't as focused as you should have been. So, quite frankly, I would redo every single show I've ever done and see if I can make them even better.
Do you consider being an anchor on the radio more of a hobby or a job?
Oh, hobby. Like I said earlier, I mean, I really fear for the day that I'd have to get a real job. Also, I have no skills, so that will be a problem for me. But definitely, I've never considered it a job. In fact, I remember when I started out in radio, you do a week's worth of shows, and I still was, doing news and traffic and other things on morning radio stations. They weren't my morning shows. I was sort of like a bit player on the one I worked at in Toronto, for example. When I would finish working at the start of my career, at least the first 10 years, when Friday would come around, I would still be excited to do I'd be like, I can't wait for Monday's show to come around. I'm so excited. And Sunday night was never like I got to go to work. That never happened. Now it's happened more because, I'm getting older and I like to sleep. but yeah, back in the day, that was very telling for me that when Friday rolled around, I was excited for Monday. How many people can say that in their chosen profession? I don't think a lot of people could.
You can catch Sandra of the Sandra and Chris show every morning on KISS 105.3. And please let us know what you thought about the interview. Again, I just want to really say thank you, Sandra. Very grateful for your time today.
Listen, thank you for having me, and thank you for getting like super creative during this pandemic with Google Meets and Zooms and all of that, and finding ways to engage students. I think it's awesome what you're doing, and I'm so happy you invited me instead of Chris, because it could have been Chris. Better that it was me. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah, Chris who?
Exactly. I don't even know the guy.
The OCDSB Excel blog is a place to help students, teachers, and parents discover all the amazing stories and achievements that come out of experiential learning and innovations from across the district. The Excel Live series is a resource for students, teachers, and parents that offers a closer look at various fields in high tech and the skilled trades. Industry experts share their experience and advice on career pathways, apprenticeship, and employment opportunities. Whether you already know exactly what you want to do in life or are still working that out, the Excel Live series will have something of benefit for everyone. Keep checking the Excel Live link for new episodes, including Mayor Jim Watson, Chef Kelly Johnson from the Kitchens of Rideau Hall, and Sandra Plagagas. People can see the full interview on the OCDSBXL.ca website, which will be posted shortly.
Well, that's all we have for you today. Please tune in on our next show on May 29th for our next Schism show. The theme will be language and culture.
Bonjour, quelle langue apprends-tu?
Or what languages do you know? What makes your culture special? And which cultures are you interested in?
Peux-tu nous assigner quelques mots ou tu nous montrer des choses reliées à la langue?
Please send us your content in the email down below. And check out our Twitter for more updates. Laurier Live.
Bye!